Hey everybody, I'm going to be doing a chapter a day of Eric Worre's Go Pro, 7 Steps to Becoming a Network Marketing Professional. Inside it says, this book is dedicated to the network marketing distributor. Thank you for having the courage to follow your dreams. What dreams we have. So I'll skip past the acknowledgements and I will go on to the introduction. I remember the day I was introduced to network marketing for the first time. It was January 1988. I was 23 years old and selling real estate for a small company owned by my father and his friend John Joyce. I was newly married with a little boy and I was already behind on my bills and I was scared. The year before I'd earned about $45,000 in real estate commissions, which was a good thing. The problem was that I'd spent about $60,000 and didn't save any money to pay my taxes, which would be due in just a few months. When John Joyce came to my desk that day and said, "Eric, I think I have a way for us to make some extra money," I said, "Tell me all." He went on to say a good friend of his had something to show us and had invited us to his house. So I got in the car with John and my dad and I drove over to check it out. When we arrived, he brought us into his living room, popped a tape into his VCR player and hit play. I sat and watched this crazy video. It was filled with mansions and limousines and testimonials of people making fortunes virtually overnight. It was so over the top, I just couldn't believe it to be true, so I proceeded to tell everyone I thought it was a bad idea and I wasn't interested. My natural mental filters just couldn't let it in. Then something interesting happened. John and my dad said, "Okay, that's too bad. We're going to do it anyway." This had a major impact on me because the only thing worse than being broke and in debt was the thought of seeing these two go on to make huge money without me. So I changed my attitude, pulled my dad aside and asked him if he would loan me some money to sign up. Thank God he did, because deciding to become a network marketing distributor completely changed my life. When I got started, I treated my business like most people do, which is to say, I didn't treat it like a business at all. I got in, I made some phone calls and hoped my timing and positioning was enough for me to get lucky and make a few bucks. And at first it worked. I did make some money and it was very exciting, although I had to disclose something to you. For those first few months, my entire strategy was to quickly call all of my dad's contacts before he had time to get to them. I thought if I called them, told them my dad and John Joyce were involved and got them to a meeting or to watch a video, then if they were interested, my dad wouldn't fight over who got credit, since I was in his organisation. I had limited success with this, but as you can imagine, it didn't last long. So 3 months after I got started, my network marketing income dried up, and when it did, my positive attitude completely went away. I started to blame everything and everyone for my lack of success. My upline wasn't giving me enough help, the company didn't provide adequate training, and I didn't know enough people. No one would respect me because I was so young. I blamed the product. I blamed the company. I blamed the economy. I blamed everyone but myself. But I had a big problem. Blaming the world wasn't helping me to pay my bills, and I'd walked away from real estate after the first commission check. It was going to take too long to get a real estate commission, and I had no college degree, so getting a decent paying job was out of the question. The only place I could go to create some cash flow was back to network marketing. So I put my head down and I went to work. At first, it wasn't easy. In fact, in my first 3 years, I rebuilt my organisation 7 times. I'd built it up and it would crash, and I'd build it up again and it would crash, over and over and over again. After those 3 years, I was more than discouraged. I'd almost lost hope, and then something happened that changed my life. Actually, it was a combination of 2 things. It was the night before a company convention, and I was watching a news program on television. They had a guest who was an expert on a topic, and I can't recall now. What went through my mind was, how does a person become an expert on that topic? The only thing I think of is that they must have decided to become experienced, learn everything they could, read every book, talk to every other person, and learn it so completely that they became an expert. The next day, I went to the company convention and watched superstar after superstar walk across the stage, and then it was like being hit by lightning. it finally clicked in my brain that if I truly decided to do it, I could become an expert at network marketing. I could focus on the skills. I could practice until I became an expert, and no one could stop me. Up until that moment, I was always looking for an angle. I was hoping to get lucky, and I was hoping to sponsor that one superstar who was going to change everything. And I was scared, and I would lose my chance if it didn't happen soon. In an instant, everything changed. I realised I didn't have to worry about getting lucky. Timing and positioning were nice, but not necessary for my long-term success. I didn't have to worry about my upline, knowing the right people, or anything else. All I had to do was become an expert. So I decided that day to change my focus and develop the skills to become a network marketing professional. It was a day that changed my life. Since then, my life has been an amazing adventure. Network marketing became a career for me. I have complete time freedom. I've met the most amazing people around the world, and I've been able to touch and be touched by the lives of hundreds of thousands of people, travel all over the world, contribute to the causes that are important to me, and most importantly, become a better person in the process. All of this happened for me, and it can happen for you too. In this book, I'm going to give you the fundamental principles that guide you to becoming a network marketing professional. They have served me well over the past few decades, and I know they will serve you just as well. Welcome to an exciting new adventure.